You think we're getting draft when matchmaking patch hits? I have no idea. I think that draft, I mean, I made a tweet about it yesterday. I think draft requires very significant system changes. Because when you think about it, how are they going to do draft without roles, right? That's the first thing. Is like, how are they going to do draft without roles? Because right now the back end is like, okay, per team you need like a frontliner, you need a carry, you can't have too many supports. But like, if there's draft, that means you're not going to pick your hero before you get into the game. And once you get into the game, what happens if you got 4 people that want to play a specific type of hero? Or like, you've got, like, same for people that want to play, like, let's say you want to play Haze and you get on a team and you've got 4 Haze players, which is going to happen because like Haze is incredibly popular. Like, I think that there's a lot of stuff that isn't figured out yet about the game. So it might still be too early for draft, to be honest. I'm not anti or for draft. I'm just like, I'm kind of neutral. Like, if they add draft, I'll be interested to see how they do it. But also, if they don't add draft, I completely understand why. Maybe limit your hero choices based on what you queued. Yeah, but what if you queue a bunch of different heroes? Like, you've got 2 options, right? You've got the chaos option, which is the way that Dota used to do it, which is kind of just like, fuck it. Just let everybody pick whatever they want. And then if you guys draft a shit comp, it's on you. You know, it's on the team. If you guys draft a shit comp, that's just your fault. That's the chaos option. Or you've got like a role queue option, which is also like what Dota does nowadays, or like what other games do, right? Where you queue for a role. But the problem is Deadlock doesn't really have roles, you know? Like, the roles are very, very like vague. Like, I don't think that any of the roles are strict enough for people to queue for them. Like, for example, okay, let's say heroes that I would queue, right? Let's say I queue, like, I don't know, let's say I queue Mina, I queue Apollo. Let's say I queue Mina, Apollo, Lash, and then, I don't know, I queue like Warden, right? Like, these are the 4 heroes that I'm queuing. Like, all of these heroes, I would say, like, fill fairly different roles on a team, right? Like, Warden and Mina are going to be more like side laner style. Apollo can be like a semi frontliner depending on how you play it, and he's probably not going to be a side laner, right? And then which other hero did I say? Lash. Lash is like, I mean, Lash right now can be played kind of a side laner, so they're actually not that different. But like, traditionally, Lash has been more of like a roamer style hero, although right now he is a little bit less that. He still kind of is that. But what if I add like a Kelvin in there or something? You know, it becomes complicated. Obviously, like, if you're a flexible player, it's not a big deal. But if you're not a flexible player, then it becomes a problem. Right now, there's certain like restrictions in play that make it so like, oh, okay, you know, you need to have a front line. So for example, if I look at my recent games, right? Okay, let's say I look at this game, for example. This game, you look at our draft and it's like, our draft is like pretty like okay, like it's pretty balanced, right? We have 1 supportive type character. We've got like 1 like dedicated frontliner in Abrams, and then we've got a lot of tanky heroes. And Apollo and Warden are both can be like semi frontline, you can say. And then we've got, you know, Mina and Celeste for more spear damage. And then you look at their draft and it's kind of like, okay, you know, they've also got like, okay, they've got Silver for the front line, Viscous for the supportive, right? And then there's things right now that basically kind of auto draft. And yes, sometimes you get screwed over on draft. Sometimes you do. It's true. Like, sometimes you just get fucked. Like, you load into a game and it's like, wow, the draft really favors one team over the other. But in most games, I don't think that's the case. And the biggest argument for draft is people say it feels bad to play heroes into heroes that hard counter you. However, how many matchups are actually that bad in Deadlock? Like, I would argue that there's not really that many matchups that are actually like unplayable. I think one of the worst matchups in the game would be Dynamo Sinclair, for example. Like, Sinclair is the hero that benefits the most from draft. Like, Dynamo against Sinclair, for example, that's really bad, right? And there's obviously like certain other matchups that can be bad, like, you know, if you're playing something like Shiv into Pocket, it's not great, right? Any hero that relies into healing and into Pocket, not gonna be great. Or like, and then there's like kind of soft counters, and there's like grounded heroes versus flyers, right? If you're playing against like 3 or 4 flyers and you're playing like a little grounded chud, might not be great for you. Like, for example, let's say you're playing Victor and you're against a bunch of flyers, but even then, that's still playable. So I'm not sure. Yeah. Itemization counters heroes more. Shotgun heroes versus flyers. Yeah, but even then, right? Like, let's say you're playing Abrams against flyers. Like, yeah, that's not great. But at the same time, there's a lot of areas in Deadlock that force close quarter fights. So it's not even really that bad. And on top of that, when you go further into it, like, you can solve a lot of the problems via itemization. Let's say you're playing Abrams into flyers. Yes, it's a very expensive item, but if you ever get Phantom Strike, all of a sudden you become a hero that can counter them. And like, okay, let's say you are the flyer and you're playing into Yamato Lash, you're playing into a bunch of heroes that go on you. Yeah, that can be pretty bad for sure. So, but I think the reality is a lot of Deadlock heroes are just generalists. Most Deadlock heroes are generalists, and most Deadlock heroes, in my opinion, don't really have a lot of hard counters. I don't really think that most matchups are that bad. I think that almost like most matchups can be like dealt with. Like, yeah, obviously some matchups are better than others, but and you know, draft will help you like pick your hero in favorable matchups for sure. Like, that's one thing that draft objectively will do. Like, but how big of a deal is it? I'm not sure. And how bad do we need draft? I don't think we need draft that bad. What I really want is like more than draft. I want, you know, well, they kind of have to come together. Well, actually they don't. More than draft, I think having like bans that like make a bit more sense. Like right now the ban system feels super fake, and I completely understand everybody that's like, oh, I ban heroes and it doesn't matter half the time. I think that the amount of bans should be doubled so that you feel like you have more chance to get your ban. So if instead of 2 heroes per game, there's 4 heroes per game that were banned, that'd be about 10% of the roster. It would help hero diversity, and it would also make it so that instead of having a 1 out of 6 chance for your ban to do anything, you have a 2 out of 6 chance. Oh, actually, sorry. Yeah, that's correct, right? Or maybe that's not correct. I guess you have a 1 out of 6 chance twice. I guess it'd be a 1 out of 6 chance twice. You want to draft because I don't want to start the game at a disadvantage because the clanker MM fucked up. Well, I don't think you start the game at a disadvantage more often than you start the game at an advantage. And I think I understand that perspective, but it's like, it's purely mental, right? Because at the end of the day, I highly doubt your teammates are going to do a better job at drafting than matchmaking was doing. I'm just going to be honest. Like, I'm going to say it. Your average teammates are not going to do a better job at drafting than whatever the matchmaking is giving you right now. It's going to be pretty inconsequential. Oh my God, Celeste is just frying them. Agency is important. I want to earn a shitty draft, not feel like the game gave one to me. No, I understand. I agree with you. To be clear, I agree with you. That's the biggest thing that draft will change, but I think it's just important that we're honest and we realize as a community that if we implement draft, it's not going to make your games have better draft on average. Probably not, at least. It might, but it probably won't. What will happen is that instead of blaming Valve for your shitty draft, you'll now blame your teammates. Is that really better? Draft lets you pick something else depending on the enemy's picks. Yes, it gives you agency, 100%. That part is true, undeniably. I mean, that is one thing that is like objectively better about draft. It's better to have the individual agency, even if the draft ends up worse than what the matchmaking would come up with. It has benefits. I don't know if it's just purely better, but it has benefits.